like falling deeper. Colder nights 난 너무 싫어. 기다리기에는 너무 길어.
Have you ever watched a drama that you just can't get out of your mind? You stay up at night because you've made the rookie mistake of watching the 2 episodes week to week. You stay up, think, and obsess over what can happen next. You theorize where the story is going based off of those oh so reliable K-drama cliches. Or you possibly get sucked in by the acting and you think, wow, this actor acted in the scene that I didn't expect to happen, or I just get so heartbroken over what's happening on the screen because the actor is just so dang good at their job and you're sobbing your eyes out. Or perhaps you look at a shot that a director has used in the series and you think, wow, that was an amazing shot. Or perhaps you can look at the scene, the same actors and the same director, and you can think, I would have done that differently. You want to talk and express and gush about the beautiful oppa that you see on screen with the perfectly poreless skin and floofy coiffed hair or permed hair, whichever he has. You want to express your frustrations over what's happening to your favorite couple, your OTP, or what is not happening to your OTP. You want to talk about anything and everything about this drama that's just driving you mad, but you just can't because there's no one around you can have these conversations with. Hello? Hi, it's me. I'm a chingu. It's me. And perhaps, much like you, I have no chingu that I can express myself to when it comes to these beautiful works of art on screen. I want to gush and spill my heart out over what I see in stories that literally have me sucked in and live rent-free in my head. Welcome to my podcast, Drama Addicts Corner, where I review, dissect all things K-drama, whether you're looking for a recommendation on a drama, or you want an in-depth analysis over what's happening, or you just kind of want a place to fangirl or fanboy over your favorite oppa oni onuna or characters in general. I've definitely got you covered. So I already have a pre-existing webpage called Drama Addicts Corner where I do write reviews on dramas. I usually write those reviews a little bit toward the end when the drama's kind of already starting to close up its 16 episodes or 12 episodes, however many episodes are in the series. I try to make my reviews with as little spoiler alerts as possible. So that's something I kind of wanted to do a little bit differently in this podcast because I am trying to keep them as spoiler free in my reviews online. So that way people who haven't seen the drama and want to see it and they're not quite sure they want to see it, they can go to that review. So this is going to be something similar to that, but I want to make this a little bit more spoiler friendly. So if you're good with spoiler friendly stuff, great. So for example, when I watch a drama, I usually have a pile of sticky notes next to my couch with a pen. And so when I'm watching the drama, I tend to keep a lot of thoughts about what's happening in the scene, what's good, what's bad, if I liked it, if I didn't like it. And that usually ends up becoming my review. So the most recent drama that I just finished was Miss Night and Day. I do have some sticky notes on that, but I have not yet had the time to be able to write it into a review yet. So I thought perhaps maybe next week, so please stay tuned for next week, that I can actually use this podcast to gush about that and also write the review later. There's some new dramas coming out as well that I'm really excited to write about. One that I'm currently watching, which is Appa in the House or something like that, where the landlord turns out to be the father that disappeared 10 years ago or so. And I'm gonna probably want to talk about that too in the future. So again, something else to be looking forward to. Miss Night and Day is probably going to be next week, and the Appa in the House, that's going to be after that. I usually tend to focus a lot on the acting because that is something I do have some background in, and it's what I'm most comfortable critiquing, or it's usually what catches my eye the most. I have a bad habit of really making myself known if I do not like a scene or if I do not like the way an actor has acted that scene or created that character. And I'm very vocal about it, which my sister also hates, which is probably why she doesn't watch dramas with me and she watches them on her own. So that's also another reason why I decided to do these reviews and even this podcast. Please don't hate me if I critique an actor that you absolutely love. This is totally personal opinion, so you don't have to agree with me at all. But it's what I see, okay? There are a couple of actors that I will not watch a series of because I just can't stand the way they act. And I'll get to those later on in the podcast. So look forward to me spilling the tea on those two as well. Or actually, there's more than two. Maybe I'll just do a whole podcast episode on actors I don't like. Actually, that could be a pretty good podcast. Maybe I'll add some actors I like. When I'm writing my reviews, I tend to keep two different categories, and I kind of want to bring that over to this podcast as well. So the first category is storytelling, and under that is going to be your acting, your music, and writing. And then for the other category I have, it's called directing, which of course directing is going to be under that. But also the editing, the way a scene moves from scene to scene. I do pay a lot of attention to the acting. I do pay a lot of attention to the music because the music really does tell a lot of the storytelling. Sometimes if the music is properly placed, it can just create this beautiful scene. Or if the music is improperly paced and they just kind of slap song after song after song and you're kind of bombarded with a bunch of music and it just doesn't blend well, then that is one thing that I also pay attention to. The directing I do pay a little bit of attention to, but I don't have a lot of background in that, so I can't really say much on the subject of the directing. I did used to live in South Korea for a little over 2 years. I am a lifetime learner of the language, the culture, and its history. South Korea's got a very long and complicated and often very sad history. So I do try to incorporate that into my reviews as much as possible. So please come back and be my chingu and help me gush over what's happening on the screen. Next week, I'm thinking of doing Miss Night and Day, and perhaps sometime down the line, my favorite actors and actresses. But let me know if you actually want something like that. If you don't, then I can just totally scrap it. Let me know what kind of dramas you are watching too. Let's make this a two-way conversation so that way we can fill that gap that we have yet to fill. I can be your chingu. So for today, we're actually going to be talking about my top 5 favorite, most recent dramas. These are the dramas that have been released within the last 5 years. So these are not my ultimate favorites. If you do want to know my ultimate favorite dramas, they are on my my website, dramaaddictscorner.com. So go ahead and swing by there if you want to see my ultimate favorites. I have my top 10 there, but today is just my top 5 most recent dramas that have been released. And I'll be quite honest with you, the dramas that have been released lately don't have me in a chokehold like some of the dramas that I've seen in the past. I am in a little bit of a drama slump, but that doesn't mean that there hasn't been good dramas within the last 5 years. There have actually been some very, very good dramas that have been released. The first drama, of course, being, and you probably have already guessed it, is Crash Landing on You. I mean, who doesn't love a Romeo and Juliet story? It's a beautiful story of star-crossed lovers who meet in an unlikely place and have an unlikely meeting. And it almost seems like fate or destiny that they kind of end up together. Hyun Bin is a good actor. I've seen him in a few different dramas where I've seen him play characters anywhere from a stone cold North Korean spy who kind of is devoid of emotions. I've also seen him cocky, who's so used to having his own way, who's kind of doesn't really care what other people around him think or think of him. I've also seen him play big teddy bears. I've seen him play badasses. He's played a wide range of characters, and his character in Crash Landing on You just it won me. He's such a teddy bear. He's so freaking cute and he is gorgeous. I mean, he's handsome. He is extremely handsome, but his personality in that series just sticks with you. And his wife, who plays Yoon Se-ri, and I really got to learn her name because I've seen her in a few dramas and I like her acting as well. She does a phenomenal job bringing the character that she has to life. And this is a character that can be extremely cantankerous and annoying, but she manages to make her lovable. And I really like that. So she gives enough for the audience to empathize with her. And that is the job of the actor, is to make the audience want to care for this main character. The side characters are also really well done, well written, well acted. I mean, this was just a super cast, if I'm being honest. It was a super cast. It was super writing. I really liked that the writing separated the problems in halves. So the first half was her trying to get out of North Korea, and it was much more focused on that. I mean, yes, we have the big bad guy at the beginning of the series, and he's kind of lurking in the shadows, but he's not the main focus. Because then moving forward, after she finally escapes North Korea and gets into South Korea, you know, big bad comes after her, and then the second half of the series is basically about big bad trying to kill her and Mr. Ri Jung-hyuk trying to avoid the love of his life getting murdered by this dude, because he's already murdered somebody that he loved before and he doesn't want it to happen again. So it, again, the way they mapped out the story was great, and it's not something that you see very often in K-dramas. So a lot of time in drama land, with the 16 episodes, you get a really big lag either in the middle or right toward the end when things are about to pick up. It kind of loses my interest and doesn't give me that chokehold kind of feeling that I had before. 2521 was another one of those, which I just absolutely loved. It didn't have a sag in the middle, and they hit me with a train wreck at the end, and I totally hate the ending. And if you like the ending, good for you, but I just absolutely despised it. It ruined the whole story for me. I'll probably watch a couple of episodes from time to time, but I will not watch it in its entirety ever again. Anyway, I digress. The second drama I want to talk about is It's Okay to Not Be Okay. This isn't going to be my number 2. This drama, when I say leaned heavily on the fantasy, the fanatical fantasy storytelling, I really mean it. The way they edited a lot of the shots, the way the director decided to shoot some shots in this very hazy, dreamy-like, or very Baroque style, or, you know, the way they dressed the main actress, whoever was the costume design for that main actress, thank you. You have created a mini outfit that literally lives with me. And if I was able to create those garments with my hands, I would probably already have done it by now, because they were stunning and they were beautiful. It's like the Titanic dress, it just kind of captures your eyes. Those costumes were absolutely stunning. The actress herself, I know she's not a very well liked person, but the actress herself, she's a very good actress. And in fact, I actually did not recognize her in another drama that I was watching called Gyeongsong Creature. I didn't realize she plays the main bad girl, the one who's married to the Japanese general. I didn't recognize her at first. And it took me a really long time to realize, oh my gosh, that's you. You're from It's Okay to Not Be Okay. Oh my gosh. You know, a different personality, totally different look, and she was literally like a chameleon. I did not recognize her at all. Speaking of chameleons, though, the gentleman, the actor that plays Sangtae, the older brother who has special needs, I've seen him in other dramas, and I kid you not, I did not recognize him. He's in When the Camellia Blooms, and I was looking at this man and I was thinking that you look familiar, but I just cannot place you. It took me maybe 4 or 5 episodes before I realized it's Sangtae. This man did so well at creating this character in It's Okay to Not Be Okay, so well with showing a special needs person on screen. It was amazing. He did a phenomenal job, and I will sing his praises till kingdom come, because that man is amazing at his job. He did phenomenal. Of course, you also have the main lead, Kim Soo-hyun, I think is his real name. He's also the main lead of Queen of Tears. I've seen him in a lot of dramas. Like, he is also a phenomenal actor. I've seen him in many dramas. I've seen him in many movies. He's a great actor, and there's a reason why he is the highest paid actor in Dramaland right now. I think that was according to last year. The third drama I want to talk about is Extraordinary Attorney Woo. This is another drama where we have one of the central characters with special needs. This actress, I've not seen her in many dramas. I do know she's been around for a while. She did amazing. I saw her in some of on YouTube to kind of promote their drama, and wow, I mean, I know she doesn't have special needs, but even then, the look on her face, totally different. The look in her eyes, totally different. She is 100% a totally different person aside from the special needs. Again, another one of those people that are just like chameleons. Amazing, amazing. I don't usually like watching crime dramas. I do watch them from time to time. Big Mouth was one of the dramas I really liked. That was a crime drama, as was Suspicious Partner, which is 20 episodes instead of the regular 16, and it had my attention for the entire 20 episodes. But other than that, I don't really watch law dramas. Law dramas don't really catch my attention all that much, but this drama caught my attention, and I really liked that it talked about different stories each episode. It wasn't just one flowing story. I mean, there was an overarching story. It was her story. It was her becoming her and being strong in herself and learning how to cope outside of the little bubble. This was a solid drama. And the one with the kids is really, really sad. And I was a teacher when I lived in Korea. Those poor kids, they work so hard. And by the time you get to middle school, they go from school to school. They often stay up till late. So it is something that it kind of hit home for me. For the fourth series that I wanted to talk about was Itaewon Class. This is another drama that talks a lot about Korean culture and what's happening in Korea in the current era. It talks a little bit about like the racism. It talks a little bit about LGBT plus community and violence. In an episode in Itaewon Class where Han Bo-hyun is playing the big bad, and he goes after the main female character, and he's about ready to slap her, and she's in the middle of Itaewon. She goes, "Stop, look where you're at. If you hit me, you will be stopped." Because in Korea, if something's happening and some guy is just beating on a girl, they just sit and watch because they don't have the same laws that protect us in America as if we were to have stepped in. So I was actually really surprised that they even touched on that issue. Itaewon Class is a very unique creature. I actually lived in Korea during the time of both Itaewon Class and Crash Landing on You. And when I mean like those two dramas hit it big, oh, they hit it big, so big. I remember a long time ago when Goblin came out, Goblin was everywhere. Everybody was talking about it. And it's the same thing that happened with Crash Landing on You and with Itaewon Class. That song, the theme song of Itaewon Class, was everywhere. It was in the restaurants, it was in the shops. Like walking down Hongdae, I could hear it everywhere. Every other corner was playing it. The drama itself was so widely talked about. So the last drama I want to talk about is When the Camellia Blooms. I did mention it before. Sang-tae, he plays another central character in When the Camellia Blooms. I was not expecting it. I was in kind of a lull. I was scrolling through Netflix and I saw the advertising for it, and I was very surprised by it. Because again, it wasn't a drama that was on my radar. It's a murder mystery with a woman finding her own strength and her own pride again, but also finding love along the way. The main character is so stinking cute. He is so golden retriever vibes. I mean, this man is so cute. And I love that he gives her the space to be able to come to him, but he's very stable, if you know what I mean. Like, he's stable. He chases after her. He tells her that he's interested in her constantly, but he will not push his emotions on her. And I really like that. And he really gives her the room to be able to choose. I love that because you actually don't get that a lot in dramas. And then you have the fact that it talks a lot about mothers in this drama. It also talks a lot about single mothers in this drama. Korea is still a traditional family kind of country where you have a mother and a father. It's becoming a little bit different these days, but it's still pretty traditional family centric. And when you don't have a father, you're usually looked down upon. Less so if you don't have a mother, or if you're an orphan, you're looked down upon. So the fact that this poor kid has one mother, no father, and to top it off, she works as a bar owner, and then he has two candidates to become his future father, his actual father, and then he has the police officer, golden retriever, and so he gets teased about that. They called him two dad, one mom. You also have the fact that the main character has been abandoned when she was really young by her mother, and she has to navigate through that, and also was abandoned by the man she loved, who she had a child with. It's a drama about finding your own strength and remembering who you are. Also, it's a murder mystery. I love murder mysteries, and Camellia Blooms they actually stay pretty steadfast in who the murderer is, and I liked that, because you don't always need to have a huge plot twist in your story to make a story impactful. That's what dramas have been known for lately, is those big plot twists. It's kind of become a cliche though, and that cliche is it just doesn't make the plot twist all that impactful anymore, especially when that plot twist just comes totally out of left field. Perfect Stranger was a really good murder mystery. Again, like 2521, train wreck at the end, where they wanted this big plot twist and they just totally derailed everything that they were building up toward. And so, When the Camellia Blooms, great acting, good placement of music. The music honestly didn't pay attention too much to. It didn't really stick out to me, but the acting definitely great. The storytelling also definitely great. The directing was pretty good, but the story and the acting are the kings in this drama. Anyway, thank you for joining me today. Come back again when I talk about Miss Night and Day. Please let me know what you guys have been watching. Let me know what you think on these dramas. I will, read the first 10 comments on the next episode, so that way we can have more of an interaction. Thank you, and until next time, bye.